Come on and tune into that old world charm. It's sweet delight. Yeah, that old world charm. They can spin some yarns to hold tonight.
G'day everyone and welcome to an episode of That Old World Charm. This is episode 65. I'm joined by the full triumvirate of the Charmed Ones, Peter the Falcon.
Hello.
And Danny, the very happy boy, McDavid.
Adam, I have never been this happy. Actually, that's not true. I've been this happy many times. But I'm happy today. Let's put it that way.
And you're happy today because we're going to be reviewing the brand new Renegade pack update to Dark Elves. Essentially, the Renegade lads, our good, lovely man, Val Heffelfinger, is going through all of the Renegade factions and just updating their little book, their little weedy book that has not held up over time apart from vampires and has got terrible internal balance apart from vampires and has nothing powerful it can really do to hold up apart from vampires. So he's going through and he's updating, and we're going to be reviewing what he has done, his works. But first and foremost, we are going to discuss whether we like what he's doing and whether we think it's appropriate and whether we want him to continue and whether we think these things should be adopted. And then we're going to do hot takes on how good what he has done and rate his work. He's going to listen to this. He's going to be sweating bullets. He's going to be like, oh, geez. Oh, guys. But Peter, do you like what he's doing?
No.
You love it?
No, I wish we'd get rid of legacy armies instead of trying to make them work.
Fair. We'll put some crickets chirping there. Danny, for a better opinion.
I mean, look, initially when Peter said that, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm with that. But then he said he just wants to stop legacy armies from working, and that's terrible. I just wish that Val didn't have to feel like he has to do this to keep legacy armies relevant. I wish that we were able to have official support, and you know, I'm going to keep the dream alive. Sorry, Peter. I want more armies than 9 or 10.
I mean, I would be happy if we got the official support, but without it, just get rid of them. Let's stop trying. This is too hard.
Nah, I'm with Danny. I'm all for people trying. If we kick them along and drag them along enough, maybe we'll change G-Dub's mind. Maybe. And the next edition of this old world will have a fully fledged game instead of the half that we got. Where, yeah. So I'm all good for it. I mean, should this carry over into another edition or another edition after that, then yeah, I'm probably going to start leaning towards Peter's camp. But for the time being, let's kick and scream, drag everybody along with us until G-Dub can't refuse us, is the way I want it to go. All right, on that note, Danny, what are your hot takes on this document?
I think we have a lot of some really good and thoughtful changes to the Dark Elf book, or the list specifically. Well, I guess, I mean, it's entries and list, right? But yeah, I'm happy. I think there was a couple of missed opportunities here that could have been a little bit better implemented or looked at a little bit harder. But I'm not mad. I mean, I wish every army got a look over like this. Honestly, like not even just the legacy factions, but also the standard factions. I mean, just even going over like magic items and stuff like that, I think would be a really good idea for a lot of other people and make like everything like sort of usable. Cause there's a lot of trash in the magic item section in all these books. And there's some unit entries that I think that could see some love. But overall, I think a really good effort. I gave him a slow clap on his personal page for writing this. And I think he did a good job, mostly.
Lovely. Peter, putting away your internal viciousness, hurtful things, how do you feel about the job that Val's done bringing Dark Elves up?
I mean, he did great. He's doing what he can. It's a good show. I enjoy it. I actually wish he did more.
More shows or more documents and updates?
Like I wanted more stuff in this document.
Yeah, I think he's being a little reserved. He's obviously not tried to make anything that's already pretty good or better. He hasn't taken anything from, being that was takeable and made it better. He's pretty much exclusively looked at things that were untakeable and tried to make them takeable, which I think is the better way to go out about it. But you could, I mean, I'm kind of just send it, mate. just send them all to top tier. Let's balance everything against vampire counts and make a mess of things. But obviously, he doesn't want, well, in my opinion, he doesn't want the Renegade armies to go from being at the bottom of the meta to the top of the meta, because then all of a sudden, I think the Sharks would definitely come for him, and he does not want that to be the thing.
I want to keep the Sharks away from him, Adam. I really
Me
do.
too. We need to protect our boy.
Here's the thing: is the only problem with it is like we saw some of them mumbling and grumbling about Renegades, and it was adopted by a lot of people. But now that we're going to the next step, which I think, like, if you're going to try to make this work, you might as well. Like, less people are going to pick up Renegades because of this, in my opinion, is the only problem. I think there's a lot of people that were on the fence, and when they see more changes, like we see with this and with the Skaven book, unfortunately, I think it'll like cause less adoption because old world gamers are annoying that way. But
yeah, so my concern, and this is always going to be, and I'm sure Val's fully aware of this, he's one too powerful change away from everyone dropping it like it's hot. Like, if he does the Skaven book and it comes out and Skaven's now like OP, busto, unfun ridiculousness, not only will people not play the Skaven update, they'll have to drop the rest of the pack. And that's the line I really want him to try and toe and not go too far. But so far, I haven't looked at the Skaven one yet. I'm just looking at the Dark Elves for now, and the Skaven will be another day. But we're going to be jumping in, and the changes have all been to the army list, the composition list, the magic items, special rules, and the lore. And Danny, take us away with the Dark Elves legacy army list. What has changed?
So, and very helpfully, I would say, they put in some pink text to show what changes there actually are to the main list. So, the first of which is that so characters same, core same, special is where we see our first difference, right? In that they've added instead of having to have Dark Elf like noble characters, excuse me, you have 0 to 1 unit of Black Guard per 1,000 points. So no, like, you don't have to have an unlocking character for that. In addition, as long as you have a High Beastmaster and not just your general as a High Beastmaster, you can take a War Hydra or Charybdis as a special choice.
That's pretty good. And then lastly, they have added the Merworms from the High Elf Arcane Journal to the rare slot for the Grand Army. That's it, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Peter, how do you feel about these changes?
it's fine. I wish the Merworm was better, but it's cool to just have the access. It's very fluffy, and Merworm was available to Dark Elves in the past. Val's never been a big fan of locking units to special characters, so I'm not surprised that he removed at least some of that here for the Dark Elves Legacy list.
Totally. Yeah, 100%. Is this going to shake things up much for Blackguard or, Charybdis and War Hydras? Of course, I do believe the War Hydra has had some pretty positive changes that we're going to get to later on. But Danny, are you seeing things as more attractive already?
So the problem here, right, is that those monsters aren't good meta choices right now. But if there is a meta where some of the things that are designed to kill these large targets, so the issue here is, right, that a balloon is basically the same as a Hydra as far as defensive profile. And so everybody is teching for that profile, right?
Yeah.
And the Hydra is not as fast and can't influence the battle outside. It doesn't really influence the battle as much outside of close combat. So you're looking at a deficiency there. Although, man, did they get a nice little bump in the rules?
And a huge bump. Yeah,
are decent. The points are decent. So I'm excited to see more of those. I don't know that this is. I mean, this just helps you have Blackguard. You don't have to take a Dreadlord or a Master, which I often haven't been. So that's kind of a nice feature if I wanted to take a Beastmaster on a Manticore or something like that.
Beautiful. All right, let's move on into the special rules. First and foremost is Eternal Hatred's had a change. Against High Elves, this model's hatred ability applies every round of combat, so you don't use up your hatred in the first round of combat. And then Hecatari's Blessing is once per turn, a model with this special rule may reroll a single failed Dispel roll. Quite nice. And then I believe Murderous was a previous change because it's in blue, but it's just stating that Murderous is reroll once to wound in combat. But only applies to mundane weapons, just in case you guys didn't know about that one. I love the Hecatari's Blessing change. I think that's really cool.
I like this change the least out of all of the changes in the book.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
Really from a thematic standpoint, like it's always been like a casting bonus. And I know that he's trying to make it so it's the opposite of the High Elf bonus.
Yeah.
And it's a good bonus. I'm glad we get something once per turn instead of once per game, which is what it normally was. So I'm happy about that part. Like, I'm not trying to look a gift horse in the mouth here. I just think that, I don't know, that just seems like such a thematic miss for the rules. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm going to use it, of course.
Yeah. It's 100% to like do the like yin yang thing, but like I'd even mentioned when he let me see this just before he published it, that it should just be the exact same as the High Elf one, because that's always kind of been the way. Like the Dark Elves, if he wanted to give them like a Dispel bonus, I said like you should bring back Ring of Hotek, but without the FAQ, and then just like make everybody upset. Listeners that don't know, in 7th edition, when the Dark Elf book came out, there was a magic item called the Ring of Hotek, which is 25 points. Anytime a wizard rolled doubles, they miscast, and it was for the entire table. And back then, you rolled more than 2 dice when you tried to cast a spell, so getting doubles was very easy.
It was
and
a
it made
big aura, but it wasn't table wide. Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up FAQing it to be 12 inches, but when the book originally came out, it was table wide. And it was, or maybe it was 24, but I thought it was table wide. Anyway, it was insane, and people hated it. And it got nerfed pretty quick. It was and that was back in the day where GW didn't nerf anything. So
yeah, it was that good. It brought them out of their nerd cave. All right, into the Dark Elf magic items. Just going to hand pass this directly to Danny to take us through the whole section.
Okay, so here's what happened. They didn't change the magic weapons. Shield of Grond got a points reduction. So it went from 40 points to 30 points, I think. Yeah. Okay, cool. There we go. And then the Banner of Nagarath changed from 65 to 50. Which is nice because it was bad. And the Black Dragon Egg lasts an entire turn instead of it was just until the end of the turn. It lasts a whole battle round basically instead. And Tome of Furion didn't change except for now it's an extremely common magic item, which is very nice. Same as the Silvery Wand.
This is the one section I think Valve could have gone a little harder. Would have loved to have seen some of the magic weapons, which I've never seen a Dark Elf magic weapon be taken. They all seem pretty mediocre to me. So a little bit of a level pool there would have been nice. But apart from that, this is fine. Peter,
I've seen people take the Executioner's Axe, but like...
I have, yeah.
Oh, really? I've never have. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, always wound on a 2+ with Killing Blow is real good. But yeah, most of the stuff doesn't get played.
I took it on a hag a lot when I was like right at the start when the game was released, and that was pretty good. Although now I just swap it out for an Ogre Blade. Like I just think it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. With the way the game's been played at the moment, I 100% agree. Ogre Blade's just better. All right, into the lore, Peter Baby, take us through it.
Well, big change here is they brought back some of the old Dark Elf spells. So we have Cursing Word, which is a hex, casting value 9+, a range of 12 inches. Remains in play. While the spell is in play, the target enemy unit reduces either its weapon skill or its ballistic skill, chosen by the casting wizard's controlling player, to 1. If the spell is cast, the effects of any other hex previously cast on the unit immediately expires, which is just rewording, I believe, Cursing Word to what it was before.
Exactly.
Because when at launch it was reduced to 1, and then it got FAQ'd to be a -1, and which made it like real garbage. So getting back up to what it probably should be is awesome. And then Power of Darkness getting brought back. It's a new spell for Dark Elves, not if you've played them for a long time. Enchantment spell, 7+ casting value, range self, remains in play. While this spell is in play, the caster gains a +1 modifier to their casting rolls. This isn't like an oldie but a goodie. It's quite amazing. It's easy to dispel, so it's like not going to like change the world, but it does go a long way towards helping your wizards get off the stuff they need to get off.
I totally agree. I like Power of Darkness and the way it works in the game, as in like, you try and power yourself up early game, get off a bunch of spells, and then you're moving into the spell range more likely on turn 2, turn 3, where it's, it's going to be okay-ish, but, it's very much like a front-loaded early game, get all your buffs off, get all your extra moves up. So I quite like how it fits in and its play patterns. The cursing word, what is the cursing word? I figure it has to be, but I'm open to other options.
I mean, it could be anything, man. I mean, it could be, these are dark elves, Adam. So they're going to be, it could be any kind of super offensive word.
Cannelloni bread. Yeah.
I mean, it could be very offensive.
or it could not be. Like they're very cunning. They could like very highbrow stuff. You would never know.
Yeah, we're talking like a fat joke here, maybe. Like I think that might happen. I could see that.
Yeah.
All right. Moving into the units. Dark Elf Nobles unchanged. Dark Elf Sorcerers. These are changed. So it's now 155 and 80 respectively for these guys. How much did that go down, Danny?
It's not a ton. Sorry, I was in the magic section here. I wanted to double check that. But I think it's they went up 5 points, I think, actually, Adam. It was 150 to 75 in the document. Now they're 155.80 for the Hekardi's blessing.
Well, egg on my face. I just assumed they went down. Do we think it's justified that they went up 5 points each?
Yeah. I mean, the old Hekardi's blessing was once per game. This is once per round. So that's a big difference.
I think it makes sense. And plus, they got better magic lore now as well. Cursing word is actually fantastic. Like when I'm just thinking about it more and more, just be like, yo, nice dragon, web skill 1. Feels good.
I mean, it's both offensive and defensive. You have to kind of like work to set it up often. The nice thing is because with a 12-inch range, right? Like you have to fly into range and then hope your opponent is in range the next turn, unless you've taken the Focus Familiar magic item where you can increase your range effectively by 12 inches and cast from that point instead.
Yeah.
Nice. And that makes it a little bit easier. But God, you have to cast it while someone's not in combat and then have it stay on, which with casting value 9 is pretty good. But God, it's hitting on 2s and then having them hit you back on 5s is such a big swing in combat.
It might as well read, you cast this spell, you win this combat. Because if you get it off, it's going to be ridiculous. All right, no changes to High Beastmasters, but Death Hags. Whichever one of you wants to take this, go for it.
They added Warband.
Yeah.
I don't think they did anything else. I think the things are the same. The Gifts of King.
Yep. I think they're the same from the previous.
So she's still awesome. And with the way the Cauldron of Blood works and like how they've changed Pulled Along, she is a very, very good choice. And I feel like you'll be seeing a lot of Death Hags on Cauldrons and lists.
I think so as well. And honestly, I've missed it. It was weird seeing that unit on the table and it just not being that scary, which it just feels really dumb to me. That unit legitimately was the one-stop gut-star killing death machine when I used to play against it the entire 8th edition. And then this edition has been like, how did you make that unit like a wet noodle? Flaccid, noodly, armed witch elves. Anyway, moving on. Peter, assassins.
Not a lot's changing here. Poison attacks. Nice tiny little buff to Khainite assassins. Makes sense given like their whole shtick is that they have poison weapons. And then a slight modification to Black Lotus, just so that it does have a minimum of 1 rider on how much it reduces a unit's leadership. And that's just like to avoid gaming things, which some of the legacy armies do have potential to do. So trying to fix that up there. That's really about it.
Nice. Onto mounts. The Cold One has gained countercharge, which you'll see, of course, roll over for the Knights as well. I got a feeling this is big and this is good, but Danny, tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Oh no, it's awesome. Cold One Knights are fantastic now. I mean, they were pretty good before, but with the changes, with this change and one other change, they are fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I think countercharge is a lot of what they needed. And bang, right in there. Still for the same 18 points as well. All right, move down. We have Dark Elf City Guard, which a repeater crossbow lad will now cost you 10 points. What was it previously?
11.
I think 11.
Yeah, they drop 1 point, and their minimum unit size is now 5+ instead of 10+.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
Nice. How does this bring them to the fore? Do you think this is enough to catapult them back up to being played?
So like the crossmen specifically, you can give them hand weapon, shield, and light armor. So they have a 4-up in combat. And they're like a decent unit to like guard an objective if you take 13 or 14 of them or something like that, because they also do a little bit of shooting. But it's hard when you're competing in core choices between this and Dark Riders still. After the witch block that you're probably going to take in core.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Are you telling me the one we're about to talk about right now, the best model in all of Dark Elf goodness, the Black Ark Corsair, is not going to be your new core choice of choice? Peter, tell us about these guys. What changed?
They're getting some slight buffs here. So minimum unit size dropping down to 5 instead of 10. And they're letting Reavers take up to 25 points of magical items, which is kind of flavorful because they're supposed to be pirates. It makes sense that their sergeant might have found something along the way. In addition, 0 to 1 units per 1,000 points may have veterans for 1 point per model and ambushers for 1 point per model. They've also gone ahead and given them a Vanguard as a new special rule on top of what they already had.
That's kind of a lot. Right. So, yeah.
So I like the concept of like a unit in ambush. I don't think that's terrible at all. It's actually probably quite good. I think that's the big thing is taking a unit of these or two, because anytime you can take hide some of your units early game, it's not a bad thing anymore. And the fact that you can have you're probably running 250 points of these guys in ambush. So you have core units that can steal objectives or bust up a baggage cart, hop on, pump 20 shots into an artillery piece. There's a lot that they can do with ambush. I think that's the real power here.
Yeah, I agree. I think ambush is the buy-in. And Vanguard's nice, but it's fine. Still 11 points per model, not bad. All right, Danny, Blackguard.
Blackguard got changed. They added the heavy infantry troop type instead of regular infantry. They also went to 5+. They also gained murderous. So they reroll 1s to wound. And their dread halberd got changed. If you charge with the halberd, you get an extra +1 AP. So they're AP2. So strength +1, AP -1, or AP -2 if you charge. With armor bane, fight next to rank, and requires 2 hands.
Yeah, basically turn them into the regular halberds.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. They're more like the which is great. I just 15 points a model for infantry. I'm just not here for it. Generally,
I know.
I would say.
I know. I wish they started looking quite good. I mean, having full plate and a shield is quite nice, but actually, sorry, no shield. Never mind. I'm bad. I just always think that I'm thinking Phoenix Guard. But yeah, it looks good, is not good. What I find hilarious is that they didn't have murderous. The most elite Blackguard of Nagaron, you just they're just chill dudes. They're not murderous anymore. They're just kind of laid back, having a good time. So murderous needing to be there, of course.
That was the old me.
Hagen Executioners have gone down 2 points. They're now 13 points per model from 15, and with a unit size of 5+ rather than what I believe was 10+. They now get access to Drill for 1 point per model, which is a little spicy there. And then the Sergeant in the unit can take 50 points of magic items, and then their greatswords are AP2 standard. So their Strength +2, AP2, Cleaving Blow requires 2-hand, add a niche, great weapons. And little roadblocks of these guys at initiative 5 with Elven Reflexes, kind of frustrating. And Cleaving Blow, because if you don't hit Initiative 6, these guys hit first or equal, like, man, they could just mess you up. In saying that, though, I'm still not sure they're good or worth taking. What do you boys think?
If you're going to take a Death Star and not take Witch Elves, you're going to take Executioners. I think Executioners are a fantastic for the unit for their points. They have built-in veteran.
Yep.
They're murderous, so they're rerolling ones at strength 6 because they're strength 4 base and initiative 6. I mean, they are a wildly offensive unit. So if you can buff them up with demonology, they will hit like an absolute train.
I mean, just like Drilled plus Steed of Shadows is amazing.
Ascending. Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's just about, can you make a good enough Death Star where they don't just like die? I played a game recently with my Beastmen that I've been practicing for Worlds with, against a Swordmaster Death Star, and it would be roughly equivalent. Swordmasters do not have Drilled, and even with like all of the MR and everything else, they just like die in droves to like +4 to cast and whatever else you have. So if you have a way to give them like at least MR2 and some other kind of buff, I think they're pretty sexy. Drilled makes up a huge bunch of space, as does having access to demonology. So
you just take 2 Obsidian Pendants on the champ.
Yeah, that's 40 points.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
But yes, you could do that.
Yeah. I think they're sick. I think this is the unit that might go from being unplayable to maybe seeing play of what we've seen, apart from Witch Elves, which are coming up. Danny, Shades.
Shades are now 15 points, although they were 15 points. I'm not sure why that shows a change. That may be a copy and paste error there. They come with light armor, which they didn't before. And 0 to 1 points per 1,000, can take feigned flight in addition for 1 point a model, whereas previously this is 0 to 1 per army. They also have added fire and flee and veterans.
This is wild. I love it. So they were paying 1 point per model to get light armor, so you kind of have an inbuilt discount there. Fire and flee would be priced at like the same 1 point per model, so we're getting discount there. And then veterans is usually priced at 1 or 2 points per model.
It was 1 point per model for them previously.
That was the third option for 0 to 1 unit in your army.
So just built as this unit is now built, it would be 18 points per model, and you're getting them for 15, and then still have the option to, get feigned flight, ambushes, etc. I think this is looking pretty sick.
Yeah.
Anything with fire and flee and feigned flight is awesome. Like that combo is just ridiculous.
You going to take some, Danny?
I mean, I have taken Shades quite a lot. I don't know if what do you guys think? Do you think you take like a lot of them, like kind of like a Maiden Star or whatever from High Elves?
I don't think
so.
Yeah.
Maidens have like
fine at 5 though. Like you can ambush them for 16. So for what is that, like 80 points? You can have a 5-man like show up in your opponent's DZ and like mess up their troops. I think that's fine. But they're good chaff. They're good for 80 points because they can do stuff still. Like you can shoot.
I like keep them lean, put them in your opponent's backfield, mess up their plans, get them in between you and their Death Stars, mess up their plans. I reckon they're cool. Like a lot of utility for 80 points.
Dude, like evasive, fire and flee, feigned flight.
Skirmish, scout.
So much. Like the only thing against them is they only have a 6-up armor save. But like whatever. Really the only thing against them is their special and not core. Like that's really that's what kills. Like that's really it. Is do you have the points for these guys when you're probably maxing characters and you're 500 points of core? But yeah, they're good. I like them.
I believe we owe it to ourselves to leave it with Danny for the Witch Elves.
Okay, yeah, sure. Witch Elves stayed the same points. They're now 5+ for a unit. They kept all of the rules. With the addition, they added Strike First and Warband, which the Hag also has Warband, which is nice. So Strike First Witch Elves. That's a thing. Not that they weren't like, I mean, they're initiative 6 when you charged them, but like, yeah.
Oof.
They have a lot of stuff going on here. I think they're still really good. They can be core, so it takes up a lot. They have 3 poison attacks each. You can give them Banner of Hard Gain to be AP1, which is like the kind of strap-on thing that you give them if you're not going to take a cold one night block. I still love Witch Elves. I take them almost every single time I field Dark Elves right now, and that's cool because they are a fairly iconic unit for the army. And so you love to see them on the table. They're very good. A great Death Star unit too, because they're pretty cheap at 11 points a model.
I still have some major concerns about them in the current meta, which seems to be the current meta just seems to be very gun heavy and very magic missile heavy. And so I have some concerns about them there that you're going to end up.
I don't think that's the case at all, other than Beast.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I have concerns. I don't like a lot of people are. Well, Dwarves aren't a good army right now, in my opinion. Cathay doesn't have guns; they have 2 cannons. Like, I guess you'll have peasant bowmen now to deal with.
Well, lanterns aren't a thing. Lanterns won't just fly to the side of this unit and just stay there, hits hunting on the sides until it's gone.
Kill like 6 of them a turn, I guess. Sure.
Remember that if you put the cauldron in there too, they're a 5-up ward.
Yeah, like I don't think that's the concern here.
Good.
No, I mean, like if you're in a really like null heavy meta, like you're fucked.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah,
that'd be real bad. But yeah, there's I'm not.
But but Adam, honestly, like there's a pretty easy way to avoid like getting shot to shit with these guys, and you put a unit of 5 harpies in front of them and block off the unit, and they have like heavy cover. Like granted, there's some units that ignore cover. There are.
Yeah.
But that's a really effective way to deny like shooting damage, especially from like wood elves and stuff like that.
And you already want to do that because of frenzy baiting and other silly nonsense as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think this unit is busted. I think it's great. I think Warband's going to help them a lot too is Screams, because now they're effectively leadership 11. Because you can only get to 10. With Screams reducing their leadership by 2, they get to keep going up. So like they'll be like leadership 9 against Screams all the time. As long as you have like 2 or 3 ranks, like that's insane. Like there's a lot of really good things here. Yeah.
All right, Peter, sticking with you for Sisters of
12. So
technically 12 if you have a hag in the unit, which is wild. So there'll be leadership 10 against Screams. Let's see. Yeah, no change to Harpies. Sisters of Slaughter. This is all yellow, which means it's subject to change because this is still a draft. So Val has gone ahead and given them their own profile instead of like just being underneath Witch Elves. Big changes here. Weapon skill 6 instead of weapon skill 5. 14 points instead of 17. So a 3-point drop, which is insane. Minimum unit size of 5 instead of 10. They also allow the Handmaiden of Shards to take up to 25 points of magic items, which is fine. Added Strikes First, Open Order, Skirmishers, and Warband as rules. Previous to that, they didn't add Open Order. It's highlighted. They already had it. But getting access to Warband and Strikes First and being able to be taken as skirmishers is quite good. Dance of Death looks like it's been changed to a 6-up ward against any wound suffered, not just non-magical.
Yeah.
And then in addition, enemy units engaged in combat suffer -1 to their maximum rank bonus, which was what the old Dance of Death was. And lastly, Lash and Buckler it counts as a hand weapon and shield, so they'll have a 5-up armor save in close combat instead of just a 6+. So
Cool.
it's a lot of changes to drop 3 points.
It's pretty much a whole new unit, essentially. Is it any good though?
It's hard to say. 5-up armor, 6-up ward is pretty decent. It's you're almost at essentially a 4+ save.
And
everyone's hitting them on 4s, right?
And everyone's hitting them on 4s.
Yeah, and their skirmishers when getting shot with weapon skill freaking like 6 and 2 attacks base. They've got a lot going for them.
Yeah. If they had ambushers, I think they'd be broken.
I think they would be buster. Yeah,
I think they're quite good.
All right. Cold One Knights have had veteran added to them for 2 points per model and the same counter charge. And it's time. It's time to break out crack a couple of cold ones, boys, because I think you're going to see these guys again.
Yeah.
Kind
so
of were, even though Dark Elves were bad, that was really
they took them because they had to. I never found them very impressive, especially with the old stupidity rules and whatnots. But yeah, I reckon they look sick. 31 points a model still. Yeah.
Well, no, Adam, you have to understand these models are 37 points a model because they always take full plate and they always take veteran.
Yeah, you have to.
Because
the reroll on stupidity built into the unit is nuts. Mm-hmm. Like that is such an upgrade on the unit.
I'm so down. I'm so down with us being okay to let Dark Elves have a quality cav unit again. Yeah, this is sick. Dark Riders are unchanged. Good. That was like the best model in the army previously.
Yeah, they were totally good before.
I think it's fine. But Peter, you're going to tell us about Doomfire Warlocks.
Yeah, Doomfire Warlocks see some changes. So their core is still the same stat line, unit type, etc. Change here is to Cursed Coven. So now instead of getting to pick their spell, they've been changed to be just like Sisters of the Thorn, so it's a randomly generated spell from either dark magic or demonology. If you wish, the spell may be declared, and the unit may instead select the signature spell of its chosen lore magic. The unit may cast the spell as a bound spell. And then they've, instead of being a unit strength of 10 or more, it's now unit strength of 5 or more to get it at power level 2. If the unit has a master, it's cast at a power level of 1. Otherwise, they can cast it as a power level 0. Yeah, and then Dark Runes is changed from a 5-up ward against non-magical enemy attacks to a 4-up ward against everything. So they've been made to be Sisters of the Thorn, but with demonology and dark magic instead of battle and elementalism.
So the way I read this is pick the lore that has the 6 spell that is good enough, see what you roll, and 99% of the time you're probably just going to take the 6. Unless you just roll the absolute nutter butter what you need. I think the rules are good though. I think it's good.
I mean, the summoning is a really good spell.
Yeah,
exactly.
Something is excellent. Yeah.
So you take demonology almost every single time. You're hoping that you get Steed, I think, unless you have it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because then you can cast Steed on your other unit and have them fly around crazy. They're way better than they were. I would definitely 100%. Consider taking a unit of 5.
And you'd always roll these as your last one, right? If you've got multiple castings, you roll this as the last one. You get your full knowledge of the rest of your spread. Then you see what you rock up on your warlocks. I think they're cool. 22 points per model for a toughness 3 4-up ward save unit. It's kind of cool. Yeah, kind of cool. They got a lot of rules. All right, Danny Baby, Cauldron of Blood.
Okay. So the Cauldron of Blood, they changed they made sure that the base size was able to fit into your witch elves. Because before it was 60 by 100, like it actually came back in the day. Now it can be on a 75 by 100, which is nice. So it'll fit neatly in that witch unit, so nothing looks all. So it doesn't have to ride on the side, right?
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like the witches are just pushing it in one side. It seems like it would just go in a circle. I don't know. It also gets the Blood Shield of Cain ability, which was something that you had to pick for its Blessings of Cain bound spell. Now it's just an ability it has, and it gives this model and any unit joined by the Cauldron of Blood has a 5+ ward save against any wound suffered. Awesome.
Oof.
You gotta love that. And it has a bound level, it's a power level 2 bound spell, casting value 8+, Blessings of Cain. And so what they did effectively was change the Fury of Cain ability to just +1 attack instead of Fury's Charge.
Yeah.
And of course, you can only join a unit of Witch Elves. That's fine. You couldn't join anyone else anyway because of that loner. I don't think there are any loner units in Dark Elves other than this one. Yeah, and it also gives it to every Death Hag or unit of Witch Elves in its command range of 1 or more Cauldrons of Blood.
Yeah.
So if you have multiple Cauldrons and you cast this, I think it affects everybody within that Cauldron's command range. Like any Cauldron's command range, right?
That's a good question. Until you're at the start of this model and every friendly Death Hag that is within its command range of it's weirdly worded because it should be within the command range.
Command range, yeah. I think that probably needs to be. Yeah, I'm sure that somebody has pointed that out.
Yeah,
it would be quite funny to see multiple Cauldrons and Death Hags all popping off. That'd be pretty fun.
It does like interesting. I hadn't even thought about this one. So it could lead, like, if you're doing like a double Cauldron build, it could lead to some weird interactions. I really think it should just be from that individual Cauldron. Like, it's written to be from all of them, but I feel like it doesn't need to be. Like that, the 5+ permanent 5+ wards is just already a massive buff, right?
Huge. Yeah.
150
for a T5 4+ up chariot that gives the rest of the unit a 5+. Kind of already wild. D6 +1 impact hits, gives magic res 1. Terra, I already think this thing is awesome. And then the Blessings of Cain cherry on top is I think we're cooking.
So it makes her Hag 7 wounds and gives her an in-belt 5+, right? Which is awesome.
Yep.
So I don't feel bad about taking the Ogre Blade or Executioner's Axe anymore if I'm going to take that character because she's got all the protection and wounds that she needs.
The protection is being initiative ridiculous, and you're dead before you get to hit, and all you do is
strike first. Hatred and plus D3 +1 plus maybe another one with extra attacks built on top.
Was always the way that you would just not accept with the Hag, and then just try and cut down the crap out of the 2 ranks of your opponent, and then hope you survive like the 3 spearmen that got to jab back at you. It was wild. All right, Scourge Runner Chariots unchanged. Cold One Chariots unchanged. Do we think Cold One Chariots should have got countercharge also?
No,
I agree.
No.
I agree with that. This is one thing I feel like we missed. This page here specifically is a missed opportunity because these units aren't taken and they're bad, and they need some buffs. So I think Scourge Runners need like a more dedicated role. Something with them. I think maybe ambushers or something like that because their Corsairs might be cool. And Cold One Chariots need to have a 3+ armor save. Like a 4+ armor save on a Cold One Chariot is stupid. It should be the same as I think it should be roughly the same as a Chaos Chariot. I think that's fine. And I also would like to see them have the option to buy Veteran on them as well because they're crewed by Knights, by Cold One Knights. So why wouldn't they have some of the same options?
Yeah, I would love Veteran for like 5 points or something.
Or even 10. Honestly, I'd pay 10.
Yep. Veteran would go a long way for this unit. I mean, just that alone, I think, is huge.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Bloodrack Shrine. This is all yellow because this is being worked on. It's got movement 7 now and is 140 points. Someone tell me what it used to be.
The 35-point reduction, Adam.
Hell yeah, we're cooking.
It was movement 2 before, but it had dragged along. They're getting rid of dragged along.
There you go. The Medusa comes with a halberd. Yep, cool. And dragged along has been blacked out, line through it, as has Frenzy, but has had Impetuous added to it. And then everything else looks about the same. Anything I'm missing here, lads? 35 points is holy moly. It's a hell of a reduction.
I think that's pretty much it, Adam. Yeah.
Is it any good, Danny?
For 140 points, toughness 5 wound model. I don't think it's bad. I mean, I don't think that's bad, but I don't know.
So what is interesting?
I'm not paying 140 points for this thing.
No.
All right,
I'm never
so
doing this in my life.
here's why. Like, compare these points, 140 to Hydra, which we'll
I was about to say,
it's like, not no brainer.
No, with the revamps to the Hydra, we've now got like 3 or 4 models sitting around this, monstrous-esque creature, heavy chariot things. Even the cold one chariot now gets compared to the Hydra, where they're all around that, 125, 175. The Merworm is what, 200, if I remember right, 220 or something.
It's
that sounds correct.
I think it's like 225 or something. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. So that's out of our points range now. But yeah, between that, we actually have a lot of different options, and I think the War Hydra is like actually just going to dunk on all of these when we get to it. Black Dragon is unchanged. Manticore is unchanged. War Hydra. Who wants it? Who wants to unpack this one?
I can talk about the War Hydra.
Do it up, dude.
Danny.
Okay, so the War Hydra is 45 points cheaper than it was before. It went from I think it was a 5+ armor save.
Yep.
I don't think it had an armor save.
It did. It was 5+. Now it's a 4+.
Oh, okay. All right. So armor save 4 up. Awesome. Gotta love that. Oh yeah. Okay. So there's an armor value built in. I see. Okay. It got its stomp attacks were modified from D3 to D3+1. It gains if one head is severed, another takes its place. So in your command phase, you roll a D6 for each wound. The Hydra is lost, and on a 4+, it gets a wound back.
Massive,
which is great because the serrated maws get extra attacks equal to the number of remaining wounds it has. So it just makes it better. And considering that it's just getting to heal, I think that is incredible. It still has regen. It still has ITP. I really like the War Hydra now. I like it a lot. I just don't know if in the meta it's going to be a good choice.
I think it's one of the better cheap behemoths in the game. I still don't know if it's going to see play because of the meta we're in. For exactly the reasons you said previously. It's just like sitting in that perfect like T5 5 wound everyone's building to kill bracket. But yeah, I legitimately think it's good. I don't know if it'll see play. Peter?
Yeah, I mean, like right now, I don't even think there is a non-ridden monster that sees play competitively, like at the top tier.
No.
Gigantic Chaos Spawn occasionally, but even they have fallen off.
Yeah.
Which is so wild. What a statement. So wild.
Well, and then like if you compare a Gigantic Chaos Spawn to that, like I think and guaranteed that's what Val's doing here with this build is to try and make it as close to that as possible, like, and still feel okay. Because like a Gigantic Spawn is what, 165. To get a 5+ regen, it's got 6 wounds, strength 6, but random attacks, random movement. Whereas the sucker is going to be pumping out 7 attacks. It cannot regen wounds like after they take someone like this. I think this is a good unit that probably won't see play, if only because like there's still just unit armies that take 2 grand cannons and shit like that, but it's worth a try. Maybe this is why you take a Beastmaster in your list so you can run 3 of them, because they're normally rare, right? Them and the Charybdis are both rare.
Yeah, they are rare. Yep. Normally they're rare unless you take a high Beastmaster, and that makes sense.
Yeah, so you'd have to, so that would get you to 3, and then 3, maybe you run them as like your shield for your big witch unit. So they tank all the shooting and the cannonballs as large targets, right? They just kind of like walk in front of them and they block the frenzy. And then once they die to your cannonballs, like if they make it to combat, you don't really care. Maybe that's kind of what you do with them, but
yeah, I think that's sick. All right, moving on to the Blood Rack Medusa, which is now 70 points. Someone tell me how much that went down. It's now a monstrous creature.
15 points, Adam.
It went down 15 points?
Yeah.
And has had Impetuous added to it.
It was always a monstrous creature, so that must just be
it must just be a typo.
I mean, did it lose Frenzy? I think it lost Frenzy, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have Frenzy on here. It's not crossed out, but it did have Frenzy in the main rulebook. So,
which is why I wasn't using it as a chaff piece a lot, because like it's kind of like an eagle.
Yeah.
Like, or at least that's the way I look at this thing. But like it's not as good because it doesn't fly 20. Just it moves 14.
Yeah. I was trying to compare it before to like in my head to like a scorpion, a Tomb King scorpion, and I'm like,
oh yeah, that's a bad comparison, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got one more wound, but like less toughness, no saves,
and no delivery mechanism, like no entomb.
I guess it has a 6-up armor, so yeah, no delivery.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's the only good like single unit monstrous creature, and they're not even getting played that much. Like, freaking crazy. Like, yeah, wild world we live in. All right, Charybdis, Peter.
Yeah, so Charybdis drops a whole 60 points from 195 to 135. Gains +1 to its initiative, going up to initiative 4 instead of 3. Bonus +1 to its armor save, going to a 4+ base instead of 5+. That's really everything. So it's just like making it as cheap as possible for a monster with a 4+ save and really nothing else to talk about. Like it's
I think we can sense a theme here by Val, who has identified exactly what Peter said before. No non-ridden behemoth or monster sees play, except for one. And so Val has looked at that one, the giant chaos spawn, and he's like, well, I'm going to point stuff against that and bring them down and make them look comparable to try and get these things to actually see the table. Because they've been for 195, the Charybdis is a fucking joke.
it's
absolutely
bad.
Incredibly bad. Like, so ridiculous. 135, why not? Just slam it in if you got the points left. We'll see what happens.
A weapon skill 5 monster with strength 7 and 5 attacks is like not bad.
Dude,
offensively.
Can you deliver it, right? Like,
that's exactly right. Yeah.
And that is it. No changes to the repeater bolt thrower. That's all the things. We just reviewed them all and read them all out. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed the journey. Now it's time to rank and rate how we think our man, good friend and great friend of all of us individually and of the podcast, Val, has done with this take. Of course, this isn't just Val's work. Val has done a great job collaborating with as wide a net of stakeholders as he can. And he does get a lot of input and opinions. I like the things that he's kept still in yellow. They're still works in progress. But it's been very interesting the things he's decided not to touch. Like we said, the chariots that don't see play, get no touches whatsoever. But the things he did touch, kind of all of them he did a great job with. So I'm giving this like a 7 or an 8 out of 10.
Oh, I'd give it an 8.5. I think he did a very good job. Like, and we touched on the things we touched on all the things that I felt like were kind of some misses. I feel like maybe a little bit more of a once over, especially on the magic weapons section, would have been really nice. But also every other army that's not Renegades has a pile of shitty magic weapons. So like I can't really talk too much shit about that. So
yeah. Peter.
Oh, I agree. Like I definitely want to see this on the table. I'll probably, when I'm not trying to practice for big events, give something a go here. Like I'm really interested in doing some stuff with Corsairs in particular, just because like ambushers with guns are like my jam. I love ambushers with guns, and the fact that they're actually good at gun may make them a little too scary, but I want to try it. I'm in on this. I'm in on giving this a go.
Hell yeah. All right. On that note, boys, I think we're going to go over and record part 2, where we're going to answer some patron questions and start writing some first press Dark Elf lists. It may be that this part 1 is coming out ahead of time and the part 2 has to wait a couple of days. If so, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for the incredible support that you continue to give us and the activity in the Discord. It's always a fun read. Anything else we'd like to mention or plug before we check out, boys?
I mean, not much. I think
I just like to pile onto you, Adam, and say thank you guys, like for real.
Yeah,
for
and
real.
thank you, Adam.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks, boys.
You've been listening to That Old World Charm with those charming chaps, Adam, Danny, and Peter the Falcon. Thanks ever so much. Cheerio.